Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me is Jay Huseman. And Jay, we're bouncing back to Darlington for this one for the NASCAR Cup Series.
That's right. Going to dance with the lady in black or the track too tough to tame or any other nickname you got for it. One name we got to give it now is the playoff kickoff, if that's a thing. As this is the first race for the Cup Series as well to start their playoffs. So, and it's the Cookout Southern 500 this year. When we look at the entry list, everybody's going to qualify. We got 38 teams for 40 spots. Open teams are going to be the number 4, Noah Gregson, the number 23, Bubba Wallace, the number 34, Todd Gillen, number 35, Riley Herbst, the number 38, Zane Smith. Here's an interesting one. The number 44 is Derek Kraus. Then you got Tyler Reddick in the number 45 and Timmy Hill in the number 66. I like to see Timmy Hill there.
Now, for the Cup Series, this is the Cookout Southern 500, as Jay has said, and Darlington is a 1.366 mile asphalt oval. They'll be racing on Sunday, August the 31st at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. USA will carry the coverage starting at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, also on the radio, MRN and Sirius XM Channel 90. Now, these guys are going to race 501.32 miles over 367 laps. Stage 1 ends on lap 115. Stage 2 ends on lap 230. And the final stage ends on the last lap, 367. Now, where are you going to watch the Cup Series this weekend? Well, they will have their Busch Light pole qualifying will be on Saturday, August the 30th on True TV, MRN, and Sirius XM starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And then the Cookout Southern 500 will be on Sunday. So definitely looking forward to watching that race, 6 p.m. on Sunday, the Cookout Southern 500. And we have a lot to talk about here in the Cup Series, Jay.
We do, and it talks about Darlington is a stalwart when it comes to the NASCAR Cup Series. This weekend will mark the 129th running of a NASCAR Cup Series race at Darlington Raceway. It is the 76th running of the Southern 500.
It's also the 6th time that Darlington has hosted a playoff race, and the 5th time it's hosted the opening race. They also did it from 2020 to 2023, and now again this year.
And that makes it one of 5 different tracks to open the postseason for the NASCAR Cup Series, alongside New Hampshire, who did it from 2004 to 2010. Then Chicagoland did from 2011 to 17, Las Vegas in 2018 and 19, and Atlanta did it last year in 2024.
Okay, now 5 times the winner of the opening race of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs has gone on to win the championship. In 2024, it was Kurt Busch. In 2011, Tony Stewart. In 2012, it was Brad Keselowski. In 2017, Martin Truex Jr. And again, Kurt Busch was 2004. In 2024, it was Joey Logano.
All right. And to mix that up, though, the last 7 Darlington Cup races were won by 7 different drivers. So we don't have a necessarily dominant driver there. But, Sharon, you want to talk about one that shows some type of favor?
Yes, and I would say that is Denny Hamlin. He has 3 wins and is the only repeat winner in the last 11 Darlington races.
Now, with that total, though, this weekend, 8 of the 55 NASCAR Cup Series Darlington race winners are active this weekend. Mentioned Denny Hamlin having 5 wins total in 2025, 21, 20, 17, and 10. Then you got Brad Keselowski, who's got a pair, 2024 and 18. Eric Jones also has 2, 2022 and 19. Chase Briscoe has 1. The rest of these all have 1. Chase Briscoe in 2024, Kyle Larson in 2023, as well as William Byron that year. In 2022, it was Joey Logano. And back in 2008, you had Kyle Busch picking up a victory.
And the final green flag stretch was less than 17 laps in only 2 of the last 10 Darlington races.
Now, the driver who led the most laps finished 22nd or worse in 3 of the last 5 Southern 500s. Talk about this. The track gets you, bite you. Too tough to tame, so you got to be careful.
The lady in black. Okay, last year's Southern 500 had 26 lead changes. That's the most for a race at Darlington since 2008. By contrast, last April's race at Darlington featured only 4 lead changes. That's the fewest for a Cup Series race at Darlington since the inaugural Southern 500 in 1950. Now, I'm hoping, Jay, that with the race we saw at Richmond, that we'll see more lead changes this week.
Certainly do hope so, but that tells you, just like at Daytona, it's kind of that unpredictability of you just never know what you're going to get when it comes to this Darlington Raceway. Now, William Byron, I talked about leading laps, led the opening 243 laps at Darlington in April. That's the most laps led from the start in the track's history. He won both stages and then finished second in the race.
And the driver swept the stages at Darlington 7 times, but only 1 went on to win the race. And that was Martin Truex Jr. in May of 2021.
This goes back to those saying it's not that great, because 8 of the 14 stage winners at Darlington in this next-gen car era have finished 25th or worse.
Okay, now every winner since 2006 at Darlington had a minimum of 100 career Cup starts. So this is a veterans track, Jay.
Most certainly, absolutely. There is no doubt about that. But 6 drivers have earned their first Cup Series win at Darlington. 4 of them, it was their only Cup victory.
And 9 drivers snapped a 50-plus race winless streaks at Darlington, including both 2024 races. That's tied for the most among non-drafting tracks with Phoenix.
I'll talk a little bit more about Denny Hamlin. He has led in the last 11 Darlington races. That's the longest streak at the track since Darrell Waltrip's 17 straight races from 1976 to 1984. I know Darrell had a couple of tracks he put some streaks up, but Denny Hamlin chasing him down in this one.
He certainly is. Now, Ross Chastain is set to make his 250th Cup Series start this weekend. 6 drivers won their 250th Cup start. Most recently, it was Chris Buescher at Bristol in September of 2022, and 2 did so at Darlington.
Ryan Blaney, we talk about getting hot at the right time, and this is not what competition wants to hear, but Ryan Blaney has finished in the top 10 in the last 6 races. Believe it or not, that's his longest ever Cup top 10 streak.
Yay, Ryan Blaney. Okay, now 2025 is the 5th straight season that Hendrick Motorsports driver entered the playoffs, seated in the number 1 spot.
Now, the average time for the Southern 500 is 4 hours, 15 minutes, and 50 seconds. The average time for a Coke 600 is at 4 hours and 26 minutes and 55 seconds. Again, we get cautions. It tells you how tough this track is. You're talking about a 500-mile race versus a 600 taking just about as long.
This is an endurance race, and let me tell you, it takes every bit of concentration that those drivers can muster. Okay, now the eventual winner of the Southern 500 didn't lead for the first time until lap 158 in 8 of the last 9 Darlington races. And the Southern 500 hasn't ended in overtime since 2014. So that's pretty incredible.
That is actually unbelievable. Again, we talk about the cautions and how tough that track is, but not into overtime. The clinch scenarios for Darlington playoff race number 1, there's not a whole lot to talk about here, honestly. No drivers have clearly clinched a spot as in the 12-driver field of the next round. Drivers that can get in on their win alone, that's any one of the 6 teams. So I'll run through them real quick, and then we'll talk about the points. Kyle Larson, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Shane Van Gisbergen, Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Josh Berry, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon, and Alex Bowman. And unless you got anything other notes there, Sharon, because that's the end of mine, I'm going to pull up the point standings.
Yeah, what I will tell people is there is a lot of activities that are taking place this weekend at Darlington Raceway. They are celebrating their 75th anniversary, and there are so many other activities in conjunction with that. We gave the details of those activities in our Truck Series preview. So if you want to hear more about all of those activities that are taking place over the weekend, starting on Wednesday through Sunday, listen to the end of our Truck Series preview, and you'll get all those details.
All right, so we talk about it of the playoffs starting. They've been reseeded. It is actually a tie at the top at 32 points. Kyle Larson and William Byron. Now, William Byron did win the regular season championship, so this got some additional playoff points with that. But Kyle Larson, throughout the year, had built up. And ironically, we were talking about single points. I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say it was between 3 and 5 of the Fast Lap Awards, which is worth 1 point this year. Kyle Larson got those, and several of them came in races where he was out of contention for the race. He was laps down, but still came back out after being in the garage and set that fast lap time and getting those individual points, one apiece, and came out tied with William Byron. Then at 3 points back, you got Denny Hamlin. 6 points back, Ryan Blaney. Christopher Bell is 9 back. Shane Van Gisbergen, with all his road course wins, the 4, starts at -10. Chase Elliott is 19 back. Chase Briscoe, -22. Bubba Wallace, -24. And here I'm going to switch over again of baseline is 2,000 points. So Kyle Larson, William Byron at 32, and I was down to Chase Briscoe in 8th at 2010. Bubba Wallace, Austin Cindric are tied at 2008. Josh Chastain and Joey Logano tied at 2007. Josh Berry and Tyler Reddick tied at 2006. Austin Dillon's by himself at 2005, and then Alex Bowman at 2002. What we want to look at is 12th place. Again, this is only the first race of 3. But after those 3 races, 4 eliminated. So 12th place, Joey Logano is the cut line at this point at 2007 points, tied with Ross Chastain. So they only have a 1 point advantage, 5 at most over Alex Bowman. Top to bottom, we looked at the Truck Series. Corey Haim had a 39-point lead over second. Here, from 1st to 16th is only 30 points. That tells you, again, this is the top level, the Cup Series, for a reason. 16 drivers now, 30 points apart. That's half a race worth of points. Going to be interesting.
And there are 4 ties in that group, so that is crazy. It is tight to get this playoff started.
And the interesting thing here, I know we mentioned Denny Hamlin, statistically wise, the favorite, but I think the track itself kind of leans towards Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick because you can get up there and rip the fence, run that high line. However, it's that risk versus reward because you can also hit the wall, have some problems. So they were talking about that on Sirius XM throughout the week, right on that edge. But if you can do it and manage it, it kind of favors Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick, two that are not afraid by any means to go up there and run that wall. However, again, the track can bite you. So I think it's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting. Again, I think it's a do not miss event for people. You want to tune in this weekend for all of these races because it's going to be exciting.
And I think about this being the first race of the playoffs. I know everybody's amped up. You want to kind of carry momentum. And right now, I think that squarely falls on Ryan Blaney, as we showed. There's a couple of interesting storylines, I think. One of the things I know, just talking about individual race, you can't win it on the first lap, but you can lose it. When we're talking about the playoffs, especially just getting into that next round, you may not, other than a win, the only way you lock into the next round, you can, but you can dig yourself a big hole if you don't have a solid finish. One of the ones I know has been a big storyline of how far he could go would be rookie Shane Van Gisbergen. I think it's very important for him to be top 20. That's about where he's been on oval tracks as he's shown improvement. But I think that's huge because right now, again, he's at 2022.
Okay, I think Jay was talking about Shane Van Gisbergen. He's got the 22 playoff points in 6th place. He is the top rookie in the playoffs, so he pretty much secured the Rookie of the Year. I lost you there for a minute, Jay.
You're right. Shane Van Gisbergen will be Rookie of the Year as he is the only rookie to have made it into the playoffs. The interesting thing is, and we've talked about this a couple of times, if you're not in the playoffs, you're not going to get a whole lot of attention unless you come out and win these playoff races as a non-playoff winner. I mean, that's about the only way you're going to get your name out there for the rest of the year. And I think there are a couple of drivers that could do so.
Okay, so we'll have to watch on Sunday and find out who those drivers are going to be.
I think that should cover it for the Cup Series.
Okay, so do watch for more coming soon here at Fan for Racing Radio. We have 5 races this weekend and 5 previews coming out between now, Thursday and Friday. And then we'll be back. I'm hoping we can get the fantasy report in this weekend. That's still pending. But we will be back with reviews for all 5 races on Monday. And then again, pending at this point is our Hot Topic Sound Off. We'll see if we can't try to make that happen on Tuesday night instead of Monday night. So just kind of give you a heads up, it may or may not happen, but we'll try to make it happen.
All right. Enjoy the race weekend and appreciate y'all watching. I know we got 81 subscribers. Give a big shout out to them.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you again in the next video. Take care, everybody.